Hey guys, Darren here, and I wanted to make this video because I I just finished watching The Good Place today, and low-key kind of binge watched it. It only took me a few weeks to get through like 4 seasons worth of stuff, but I really liked the show. It was a very good show, and whenever I'm about to finish a really good show, a wave of like kind of grief hits me, right? Uh, it's like all the characters that you've spent so much time connecting with, even though they're not real and they don't know you, you still see their struggle and you kind of form like a relationship with them. I know I do. I don't know if you do. I'm just going off of my experiences here. But I think in The Good Place it was even more so because I really like the concept of the show, right? And as the characters grew, I kind of grew with them. I don't know if that makes sense. One of the reasons I really connected with the show was I'm taking a philosophy class at college right now, and Chidi, one of the characters from The Good Place, is a philosophy professor. So whenever he's talking about like his philosophy things, him saying the philosophy stuff, like I'm connected with class. So I'm thinking about it even outside of just watching it, which is a very interesting way to watch a show because you're connecting it with it while watching and also outside of watching, which just occupies more space in your brain. And I usually don't like cry or even come close to crying at movies, TV shows, because I kind of know it's fake. But there was this one scene in the finale. Spoiler alert if you want to watch it. But anyways, in the finale, about halfway through, Chidi and Eleanor, which are like the two main characters, they're kind of like a couple, right? So basically, they're in this afterlife place where they have the option to exit the afterlife and just disappear into the universe, into nothingness, right? And Chidi feels like he's done with afterlife, and Eleanor goes in and tries to convince him to stay, but Chidi just, he sees what Eleanor is doing, and Eleanor realizes that she can't hold him back. So Chidi, anyways, he has to go. And when he's talking to Eleanor, in his last thing, like one of the last things he says to Eleanor is that life is like a wave, right? It exists for a certain amount of time. It crests. You can measure it. You can see the water and the sunlight passing through the water. But when it hits the shore, it crashes and just goes back into the ocean. And that really struck a chord in me. And it made me get to the verge of tears. I didn't cry. I would tell you if I cried, by the way. I'm not like opposed to telling you guys, but I'm low-key at the verge right now. Not because of the separation of two characters I really enjoyed watching, but also because it reminded me of my own mortality. As a kid, I used to think about mortality a lot because it's kind of weird concept, right? Dying, so the thing that I hope happens when you die is nothingness, like what's described in the show, right? Because I feel like that's the only way to give value to the time on Earth, which I think is the most sacred thing, the most what should we call it? It's the biggest blessing you can have, in my opinion, because it's so limited and it's so rare. The chances of you being born are 1 in 400 trillion or something. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. So you have to take every moment in and enjoy it. And even though they spent hundreds of thousands of years in the afterlife, it still wasn't enough. So that's why I think like life is the most precious thing. But anyways, getting back to it. As a kid, it was a weird concept to grasp. But as I've grown older, I've come not to fear death. Of course I wouldn't want to die today. But if you told me that I was going to die in a few hours, I would know what to do. I would call my parents, call my friends, and just do something that I liked for the time until it came. And I don't know why that just struck a chord in me. And the reason I'm making this video is as a reminder for you guys that life is finite. It's super finite. Shit, my computer just went black. Okay, good. We're still recording. Life is so finite, okay? It's incredibly finite, and we don't understand it. Even I don't understand how finite it is. But I can see the picture, right? I walked into freshman year, and I remember the first day of track practice, one of the other coaches, not our main coach, so this was in about like winter break, one of the main coaches was like, "What year are you?" We were doing hurdle practice, and one of the coaches was like, "What year are you?" And I said, "I'm a freshman." And he said, "Damn, you got so much time. Don't worry about like hitting the hurdles right now." I was pretty shit at hurdles. Don't worry about hitting the hurdles right now. You got a hella time. And now I'm going into my sophomore year of college, and I'm looking back. In those 4 years, when I'm standing at the bottom, it looks so huge, right? I thought I was going to have all the time in the world for high school. And in the moment, it kind of felt like it did. But when I look back at it, it's not time at all. And I feel the same way about college. One second. I'm tearing up thinking about my own experiences now, relating it to what I saw on the show. One second. The show's playing. I think I hit something. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. And I do this shit in one take, so you're just gonna have to live with that. But anyways, fucking hell. Okay, I'm just gonna take this with me. So, anyways, oh shit, stop. That's Michael talking from the show.
But I am trapped here forever? How's that fair? Go!
Okay. So back to what I was talking about. It felt so big. I felt like I had all the time in the world. And even now in college, my freshman year went by so fast. Granted, there were so many events that kept me from truly enjoying it. Like, the first semester didn't even happen, according to me. The second semester was just trying to recover from the first semester. So hopefully this semester turns out to be better, but damn, I'm already a fourth done with college. And for people not pursuing medicine, their real life is gonna hit fast. And even for me, it's gonna hit fast. Because even though it sounds like 4 years of this, 4 years of med school, it's gonna go by so fast. And I'm kind of worried that I don't have anything to show for it except memories. And the problem with memories is that's what they are. I want to be happy in the moment, not just remember what happiness used to be, how I used to be happy. I still think about track practices, getting Sonic with my friends after track practices. And I remember doing, holy shit, okay, if you ever need to cry, just start reminiscing on the times you were happy in the past. Not even the times you were sad. The times you were happy make you cry the most, holy shit. And then just ordering pizza with my friends after a solar car meeting. And it's just crazy to think I'm never going to get those days back. And it's not even the fragility of life that's in the sense of physical safety, right? You can die at any time. A satellite can fall from the sky. You can die in a car crash tomorrow. But I think the fragility of emotional states and the fragility of states of being, the fragility of being a high school student, being a college student, being a young adult, being a single guy, being married without kids, being married with kids, being a dad, and then one day you're a grandpa, and then it's just gone. It's, one second, sorry, I'm tearing up like crazy. It's scary fast, you know? And I'm realizing that now. I'm still a teenager, and I'm realizing that now. And I'm just grateful to realize that now because I live truly for myself. You know, I don't think about other people when I live, not in like an asshole sense, but in a sense that you have to value your own experience as human. You can't listen to what other people say about you, especially the hurtful things they say about you. And I'm just really glad I got there early. But back to what I was saying, life is so fragile, and we have to do whatever we can to treasure the moment we're in, right? Because think about it. The moment is all we have. The now is all we have. Truly, we all have memories and we have visions. But those are like the same way that you have money on your credit card. It doesn't exist. But the gold bars, the cash, the actual things you can tangibly hold is the now. And we need to treasure that. It's something worth so much more than we give credit to. And I'm not just saying that you're wasting time. I'm wasting time too. We're all wasting time. And we're not going to realize the time that we're bleeding away until that we're bleeding away. So I'm making a pact and I want you guys to join with me too. We are going to live viciously. Live without any restrictions on ourselves, right? Allow yourself the opportunity to live because that's all what life is. Life is about trying as many things as possible. Life is about giving life a meaning. It's the meaning you give to it. And so many times people pursue wrong things. You know, it's not even that they pursue things that are deemed immoral. It's that they pursue things that don't even make sense to them later on. So don't do that. I started living like this when I was 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school and I knew that my time was limited. But I didn't realize how limited it was. And by the time I was 16, I realized that I needed to live more. I needed to live fully. That's the word. Live in full uppercase. You know? And by the time I was a senior, I was ready to graduate, you know? One of my friends was asking me, would you do it all over again? He asked me this when he was about to graduate. And my answer was no. I really liked high school. I made a lot of good memories, a lot of good friends. I took advantage of opportunities that I thought I would never have before I walked into high school. And I answered no, much to my own surprise. I look back and I realized I lived it fully, you know? I went to prom, I went to FUCKKK I, went to the football games, I did sports in high school, I tried out for basketball every single year. I made as much effort as I could to, you know, hang out with my friends while also prioritizing my goals. I made music, I made art, I danced, I laughed, I cried. There's not one thing I can go back to and point that I missed out on this part of high school. I don't have any regrets like that. And that's why I was able to say that I'm fine with never experiencing high school again because I experienced it fully the first time around. So I want you to live in a way that minimizes regrets. Don't feel regrets. My high school quote was literally, regret is the feeling that lingers the strongest. It's a Tame Impala lyric from Never Ender, which was a song I was just blasting at the time. Like, that was the soundtrack to my senior year. And this ties back into the Good Place, the ending of it. See, you know, I planned these things out in my head. I don't need no script. I'm off the dome. And Chidi, Jason, and Tahani had done everything in their life. They had, in their afterlife, well, they had done everything they wanted to. They checked off all the boxes. And they have the luxury of having unlimited time in the afterlife to check out. But you and me don't. We need to use every second of our life to check off something that we would be happy to check off. And it's just that we're never going to know when it's our time to go. So we need to be mindful of the time that we have and use our time to check off as much of the things that you want to do before you die. A lot of people wait for a while, wait till they're a certain age to start on their bucket list, but the thing is, time's already ticking. Your bucket list is just everything you've been doing. Your bucket list needs to start tomorrow, today even. So I'm imploring you guys to live fully. Because I came to this realization, and I hope you did too while watching this. You thought about your experiences in your past. Maybe you're in high school right now. Maybe you're in college. Maybe you're older or younger. It doesn't matter. We all have an expiry date. And that's not the thing that concerns us. It's the thing that concerns us should be, how well am I doing before then? So, an actionable step for you guys watching this would be tomorrow. Do something that you would absolutely hate to not do before you die. That's your actionable step for tomorrow. That's a great race or regrets retroactively, which is kind of weird because regrets. You get what I'm trying to say. Let's race our regrets before they even happen. Let's live today. All right, that's it for today's video. Sorry you guys had to see me crying.